area of rotation there located near Sykeston, tracking to the north and east about 60 miles per hour this afternoon. So tornado warning, Scott County, Alexander County until 4:30 p.m. If you live in these areas, if you see your community listed here, you need to be heading to shelter. If you live in a trailer, if you live in a mobile home, you're going to want to get out of that and find a more sturdy shelter to seek, okay? So if you live in a home with a basement, you want to get into the basement. If you have a storm shelter, you want to be heading to the storm shelter. I know it's raining extremely hard right now in these storms, so you're not going to see this tornado. If there is a tornado with this storm, you are not going to see it coming. Once again, tracking to the north and east at about 60 miles per hour. So that would put it into Benton, Missouri, 420. Miller City, once again, about 425. So you've got about 10, 15 minutes or so in some of those communities before this storm actually makes it to you, but tracking very quickly. If you don't have a basement, if you don't have a storm shelter, we want you to head to the interior room on the lowest floor of the building that you are in. We want you to be finding a place away from windows, all right? So the middle of the building, a bathroom, a closet, a hallway. We also want you to have a place that maybe has a lot of door frames, a lot of corners in it, a smaller room. Those are going to be more sturdy areas of the shelter in case there is a tornado in this storm. So again, a tornado warning. That's why we've broken into coverage here. Continuing to track multiple storms, though, across the area. Tornado warning there. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings to the south. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for New Madrid County in southeast Missouri. That runs here for about another 7 or 8 minutes, so runs until 4:15. This is a strong storm. You can see the arrow on that pointing to the north and east. So a lot of these stronger storms moving very quickly to the north and east. JC, you've got an update to pass along to us.
Just for folks that are joining us in southern Illinois, in Jackson County, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for parts of Jackson County and parts of Perry County, Missouri until 4:45. So you're probably hearing some of those weather radios going off. That warning does include Gorham, Murfreesboro, DeSoto, Elkville, and it looks like parts of Ava as well.
So that's going to be this storm here that she's talking about, far eastern Perry County in southeast Missouri, and then much of Jackson County in this storm. And again, very strong storm there. You mentioned some of the communities there, Murfreesboro, Gorham, and then it looks like maybe Ava, Campbell Hill in the path of this storm. Kincaid Lake sits about right in here, so that's a severe thunderstorm warning until 4:45. Once again, several of these storms showing that we've got some very strong straight line winds. You can see that here. Let's see, pulling that in. And looks like we're going to continue to watch this one. All right, tracking to the east there. That's going to be a very strong storm. Again, working its way eastward. And do we have an update here? Watching this storm, again, tracking to the north and east at about 4:45 p.m. is the severe thunderstorm warning here for Jackson County, also for Perry County. Looks like maybe we lost some of the radar data there from the Paducah radar. So we're going to switch over, see if we can't see this from the St. Louis radar maybe a little bit better. And it does look like maybe we've got some better... There we go, better area there. We're watching this. So again, area of strong winds, a possibility with this storm here. Again, what we're using is from the St. Louis radar, so maybe not as clean as what you're used to seeing, but an area of strong winds here crossing the Mississippi River. So get ready into Gorham. Fountain Bluff is right into this area. We've got Kincaid Lake. You can see that pinpointed. Murfreesboro also in the path of this storm. And again, a severe thunderstorm warning until 4:45 for some of these areas. Taking that 60 miles per hour. Would be Kincaid Lake, 4:15, Murfreesboro at about 4:20. We've got Oroville in the path of this storm, Virgins. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning. That warning runs until 4:45. All right, I'm going to go back to the south here and look more into the tornado warning that has prompted us to break in, and once again for Scott County. That is this area right here, this little red box here for Scott County, western Alexander County, and that's going to be the area, I believe, that we're going to be tracking there into central parts, really tracking almost right up I-55 as we speak. I'm going to switch over real quickly to the Memphis radar, see if we can't get a better indication of where this is going to be located, but once again, tracking to the north and east Let's go ahead and put 55 miles per hour on this. These storms have been moving very quickly this afternoon. So tornado warning for these communities. Benton, once again, coming in about 422. Kelso, that's where the airport, Cape Girardeau Airport reported, is in there. And that would be about 430. Commerce, 430. Horseshoe Lake, 430. Olive Branch, very similar to that, of course. And then tracking to the north and east would also include Scott City and Thebes. So that would be Scott City about 432. Thebes a little later, maybe a minute or so later. But this is a strong storm here. And again, we do have an area of rotation now to the north of Sykeston. This is going to be tracking up I-55 right here and then working its way. It looks like the next community in there would be Blodgett. And then we'd have Benton next in line for this storm. And this storm does look like it still has some rotation that we're seeing as it again tracks to the north and east. JC, do we have any reports with this storm at all? Continuing to watch this, once again, radar indicated, I believe, is what this tornado warning was for. 4:30 though p.m. is the time on that. Again, this is for Scott County. Western sections of Alexander County is in the path of this storm as well. 4:30 p.m. is the timing on that warning. I'm going to zoom back out and kind of give you a rundown of everything we've got going on. I know there's a lot of folks joining us from really all over the area, keeping an eye on these storms this afternoon, and we've got more severe thunderstorm warnings you can see plotted into the south. It's not hard to pick out some of the strongest parts of these storms where we've got the reds showing up, of course some of the purples from time to time, and if I go back to the Memphis radar a little farther to the south, you can see some of those stronger storms as well. So what we are using is a radar in St. Louis, a radar in Memphis here, and kind of combining the two. Looks like we have lost some data from Paducah right now, but strong straight line winds, a possibility with any of these storms moving through New Madrid County, crossing the Mississippi River into Lake County in northwest Tennessee. Severe thunderstorm warnings for there. But again, tornado warning continuing right now for Scott County and western parts of Alexander County. We've also got a severe thunderstorm warning a little farther to the north. That does include eastern parts of Perry County and the central part of Jackson County in southern Illinois. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can't get a live view right now from Carbondale. This is looking back towards the north, and it looks like we're going to watch this storm maybe just there to the north, looking like it's going to be some extremely heavy rain right now coming down with this one. And that's going to be the case. Once again this afternoon, you're just not going to see these tornadoes. If there's a tornado embedded in this, you're just not going to see it because there is so much heavy rain that is inside of this. These are going to be rain-wrapped storms this afternoon. So a little uncharacteristic from what we're used to seeing with severe weather. Typically where you think about, the storm coming in, you can see it moving in. That's not going to be the case this afternoon with as much wind shear as what we've got. We've got some very strong winds aloft. And some of these storms, even with the heavy rain coming down ahead of time, are going to be pushing some of these strong straight line winds to the ground. So once again, we are continuing to track a tornado warning. That's what we've broken in here for Scott County, western Alexander County, into parts of southern Illinois. And this is going to be the storm. Looks like we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning also to pass along. And it looks like maybe we got radar data back up there as well. So this is going to be the area of rotation that we're talking about. Is going to be right into this area. Right through here is going to be where we're most concerned with at this point. So again, continuing to see some of the smaller communities in there. That would be Commerce you're going to be talking about heading your way. Olive Branch. So this is the Missouri-Illinois line right here. And this is going to be the area of rotation right back up into this area, Blodgett, and then once again tracking to the north and east very, very quickly. So if you live in Tankville, if you live in Miller City, if you live in Olive Branch, the Horseshoe Lake area, Commerce, Thebes, this is going to be a storm heading your way. I really think this has got its eyes set on some of those locations. If you pull this out just a bit, and go back towards the north and east, you can see the area of rotation there that prompted the warning. And you can almost see this make its way very, very quickly to the north. So it just is not moving. It is moving very, very fast this afternoon. So again, these storms, you just don't have a whole lot of time to react. Looks like right now this may stay just to the east there of Benton. Now looks like possibly north of Blodgett. Again, Miller City, Olive Branch, Horseshoe Lake area are going to be impacted from this storm. So tornado warning there runs until 4:30. We do have, again, some new severe thunderstorm warnings to pass along a little farther to the east. If you've got your Storm Track 3 app, probably going off for the rest of Alexander County, for Pulaski County. We do have new severe thunderstorm warnings there for Ballard County as well. That severe thunderstorm warning runs until 5 p.m. So these are going to be the counties: far southern Illinois, Alexander, Pulaski. We've got Ballard, Carlisle, parts of Fulton, and Hickman counties also in that severe thunderstorm warning. That runs until 5 p.m. But just a line of very, very strong storms right now rolling across the area, running a little later than what we had anticipated. If you joined us this morning, we thought maybe this would come through about 3 or 4 o'clock. Well, it is a little after 4 p.m. and just now starting to cross the Mississippi River. But you can see pretty much everything here this afternoon moving right now to the east and northeast, and moving very quickly, moving 50 miles per hour or so. So again, a severe thunderstorm warning there. You've got a pretty good storm that is going to be moving into Carbondale, moving into the Murfreesboro area as we speak. And that storm, once again, could produce some strong straight line winds. That is going to be the main threat with most of these storms this afternoon, is going to be strong straight line winds. But occasionally we could see a quick, brief spin up tornado. So the tornado warning that we have broken into coverage for looks like now, again, that area of rotation that we've been tracking. Exclusive product here, shear rate, and when we see these S curves, we see the little curve here in the shear rate. This is going to indicate where we're watching the rotation right now. So again, this is going to be just to the east of Benton and then tracking to the north and east. So this is going to be crossing over the Missouri and Illinois line shortly, and it looks like this is going to be State Highway N. Right here, this is going to be moving towards, and then this is State Highway E. If you are traveling eastward, if you plan on doing any traveling eastward out of Benton, Missouri, down State Highway E to State Highway N, this is going to be passing very close to you. Once again, crossing over. The Lynn Small Levee is going to be right in this area as well, and we'll be tracking that area of rotation crossing to the north and east very, very shortly. So Horseshoe Lake sits right off here to the east. This is going to be moving close to you. Commerce is right here. So from Olive Branch to Commerce to the Horseshoe Lake area, all right in here is where an area of rotation is moving. Once again, not any reports of a tornado on the ground at this point, but we do have some indications that we've still got some rotation embedded in this storm, and that's going to be the area right here where you see these reds and these greens coming together. Reds indicate that wind is getting picked up by the radar, moving away from the radar. Greens are going to be winds that are heading towards the radar. So where you see those coming together, you see the spin in the atmosphere. That's going to be an indication of some rotation that we are tracking. So once again, no confirmed report of a tornado on the ground at this point with this storm, but we see enough indications, the National Weather Service sees enough indications that they have issued a tornado warning on this storm, once again now as it tracks to the north and east. JC, do we have any updates here coming in? I'm going to go ahead and go back to the north and look back into this storm that's moving through Jackson County and showing some very strong straight line winds with that storm as well. Right now, that is going to be moving through. Again, it looks like maybe the worst part of this storm is through the Gorham area. And if you're doing any traveling there, that's 149 right here. And then Murfreesboro sits about right in here. So some very strong straight line winds possible with that storm. That will be heading towards Elkville and Dow. And that is going to be heading right there onto, looks like North Highway 51. Out of Carbondale. So if you're getting off work, if you're joining this afternoon, maybe getting off work and planning to head northward towards DeSoto, Elkville, Virgins, or DeCoyne, you may want to wait just a little while because this is a very strong storm that is going to be moving your way, and it is going to move you, probably going to be getting through there the next 15 to 20 minutes. If you just wait 127 to Highway 51 here, if you're doing any traveling there northward on that or south from DeCoyne to Carbondale, if you just wait about 15 to 20 minutes, the worst of this storm is going to be by you, all right? So we're going to go back to that live view in Carbondale as we speak. And this is going to be looking back towards the north. The strongest part of this storm is going to be just to the west here on the camera angle. So we're going to keep an eye on this. Once again, it looks like a strong storm there. This is Highway 51 right through here. And strong storm going to be crossing there shortly. Again, severe thunderstorm warning continues for those areas. It looks like that severe thunderstorm warning just to the north and west of Carbondale, but that severe thunderstorm warning for Jackson County until 4:45. And if we put a storm track on this, I'm going to start about right here, and then just take this to the north and east at about 55 miles per hour or so. Virgins, again, coming in here in the next couple of minutes. Elkville coming in about 5 minutes. So, again, that's right along Highway 51 there. And then we've also got DeSoto coming in about 4:30. And if this would continue to show signs of strong winds, then it would be crossing into, this is Franklin County. This is going to be the Franklin County area right through here. This is going to be the Williamson County line. If you're familiar with this area here on 149, this is going to be the Hearst and the Bush area. DeSoto sits about right in here. So again, this is going to be a strong storm that is going to be making its way eastward on that route here shortly. So severe thunderstorm warning for Jackson County there until 4:45. All right, JC, do you want to take it into the Alexander County with the tornado warning? I'm going to go back to the south there and zoom back in on that one. Still showing some signs here of rotation. Once again, no confirmed report of a tornado on the ground or anything like that at this point. But just because we don't have a report, we're not going to get a lot of reports immediately with the storms this afternoon. What is happening, once again, we've got a lot of very, very heavy rainfall in these storms. So even though there could be a brief spin-up tornado that touches down, you're probably not going to see it today, despite it being daylight, because there is just so much heavy rain coming down with these. Very, very fast-moving storms. The National Weather Service updating the time on that at 70 miles per hour. So I'm going to start about right here, take it out 70 miles per hour is going to put it into Union County. Not under a warning at this point. But again, that would just give you an idea of how fast this storm is moving. That would put it into Commerce here very shortly. Thebes, once again, McClure there just to the east and northeast of Cape Girardeau, once again coming in there as well. So this would, if it holds together, if we continue to see some signs of rotation with this storm, we are going to see this warning possibly extended then into northern Alexander County. So if you live in these communities, if you see your community listed here, and get ready, because again, this storm is heading your way and moving very fast this afternoon. Tornado warning, again, western Alexander County until 4:30 p.m. JC, I'm going to send it over to you if I can here for a second, and you've got shear rate plotted in there. One of the things we look for oftentimes is those S-curves, and there's a pretty pronounced one right there.
We do, yeah. There is still some good indication that we are seeing that rotation at this time. At this time, we do not have any reports that have come in as far as spotters. We haven't seen a funnel or anything like that at this time, but there are still indications that we are seeing that rotation. So if we can pull up the radar so that you can see what I'm looking at, make that full screen so folks at home can see that. There you go. There's our shear product. You get a really nice view. You see that red showing up inside of some of that bright green. Again, that is one of our exclusive products. We look for those S shapes and those brighter colors showing up, indicating the rotation. Again, at this time, the National Weather Service has said that they are going to continue this tornado warning until 4:30. So they do not intend on canceling this warning, again, because there are still those signs, even though we haven't seen the reports. But like Nick had mentioned earlier, if I switch this back over to returns, you can see just the heavy rain coming down as these storms are rolling through. So if there were a tornado, it is going to be what we would call rain wrapped. It's not going to be something that's going to be seen easily. So you definitely don't want to try to get outside and get on your porch and try to see any of these storms as they're rolling through. If you are under a tornado warning, of course, interior, most room of your home or a basement is where you want to be. We do have a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings that are still on the board at this time. We have interrupted your regular programming because of that tornado warning that does go until 4:30, but I'm sure a lot of weather radios are going off across the region right now, still tracking that severe thunderstorm that is making its way through the Carbondale area. So near Murfreesboro, going to be pushing into DeSoto, Virgins, Elkville, Hearst within the next couple of minutes. And that severe thunderstorm warning is going to go until 4:45 this evening. So we still got about 20 minutes left on that warning. And then if we take it even further to the south, we have a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings in place across parts of our southern counties. Folks that are not included in that tornado warning in Alexander County, the rest of the county is now under a severe thunderstorm warning that does extend into Pulaski County as well, Ballard, Carlisle, and off into Hickman and Fulton counties. So a lot of action going on. The biggest concern is going to be some of these really strong winds. We did get a report of maybe just some leaves and small twigs on the ground as some of this has rolled through. No major reports have come through just yet. And if we widen out this view just a little bit for you, we're going to turn back on the tornado watch for you. So a lot of the area is under a tornado watch, and that is going to go until 10 p.m. tonight. So we'll clear up the view, make it a little bit easier to see, take the radar off. So all of the blinking boxes that you see in the orange, those are our severe thunderstorm warnings. That little red box, of course, is the tornado warning. And then all of the counties that you see highlighted in that bright yellow color, that's our tornado watch, and that is in place until 10 p.m. tonight. So again, throughout the evening hours, throughout the dinner hours, just make sure, you're staying, whether aware, you have multiple ways to get alerts throughout the evening. We are going to continue to monitor these as they roll through. Now, switching back over to the radar, I think one thing that we haven't chatted about too much is after this line rolls through. So let me see if I can get a pencil on this and highlight it for you. So after this line rolls through the area behind that, that's when we'll start to see, we'll still see a few thunderstorms and some rain, but the severe threat will slowly come to an end after that. So again, we're going to continue to stay with you on air, on our app and on social media all day to keep you updated with the latest. It looks like we may have a new report coming in, Nick. Did you see that?
Yeah, and so what we're right now watching, again, strong line of storms, as JC's been talking about, moving through. So it looks like we do have a new tornado warning to pass along as well. Looks like National Weather Service is going to take a tornado warning for Carlisle, Hickman, and Mississippi counties in parts of that. It does include Carlisle and Hickman County in western Kentucky and Mississippi County into parts of southeast Missouri. That is a new tornado warning there, waiting for that to plot in right now. That is going to be a tornado warning, I believe, that is going to run until 5 p.m. So that's a new update to pass along to you. Still watching this storm that we've been tracking here over through Alexander County. And again, this is the one that has prompted the tornado warning right now through Alexander County. So we're going to keep an eye on that one more time and kind of run you through that. But it looks like you can see the shear product that we've got here. We've just got so many little eddies going on this afternoon. And when we say that, we have these little couplets, the areas of rotation that get picked up on radar. There's just a lot of wind shear, and it just does not take very much for some of that to spin. So trying to actually pinpoint on where some of these tornado warnings might be can be a little difficult at times. But what we're going to be tracking here is the new tornado warning again for eastern Mississippi County. And then also does include parts of Hickman and I believe Carlisle County in western Kentucky. Runs until 5 p.m. So we've got Carlisle County, we've got Hickman County, we've got eastern Mississippi County, runs until 5 p.m. You can see the circle there through 3 states. That is our product actually indicating that we do have some shear getting picked up on this. Now again, a radar indicated warning. That means that there is no confirmed report of a tornado on the ground at this point. However, because of the nature of the storms this afternoon, there is so much rain coming down with these, you just are not going to see any of the tornadoes. You are going to have a lot of very heavy rainfall. It's one of the reasons we want you to take these warnings very seriously. So once again, moving to the north and east very, very rapidly this afternoon. Go ahead and plot that in here. And you can see as we look ahead to that, it looks like moving at about almost 70 miles per hour. Some towns in the path of this, we're talking about Wolf Island coming in at 436. We're looking at Wyatt coming in at 445, and then Bardwell, Kentucky coming in at 447. So area of rotation right back into this area, once again tracking to the north and east, and a lot of these storms that are moving at nearly 70 miles per hour. So again, the tornado safety rules this afternoon, we want you to get out of a trailer, we want you to get out of a mobile home, we want you to find a sturdier shelter. There's a lot of folks in our region that live in mobile homes and trailers. We want you to get out of those, and again, you do not have a whole lot of time to react. We want you to get to an interior room of a home, preferably a bathroom, a closet, a hallway, a smaller room, a room without windows, an interior room on the lowest floor of your home. So tornado warning once again, eastern Mississippi County. We also have Carlisle County in there, far western Hickman County in that tornado warning that runs until 5 p.m. So that is going to be a strong storm there, making its way to the north and east. Let's see if we got an update as well coming in from the ones to the north. So we have, looks like they've gone ahead and let the tornado warning at 4:30 expire for Alexander County. So we do have a tornado warning still on the board. Once again, Mississippi County, western Carlisle County, western Fulton County there. Again, Bardwell, Kentucky, in the path of this storm. Looks like maybe this is going to stay to the east of East Prairie. If you're in East Prairie, your weather radio is probably going off. You are not in this warning. What we are going to be watching is going to be right back just to the south and east near the Pinhook area. It looks like this was detected near 3 states. And again, moving very, very quickly this afternoon. I'm going to go ahead and switch back over, see if we can't get a better indication. One of the things we're having a hard time picking up this afternoon is how much wind shear. The wind shear is just kind of blowing out radar. It's one of the reasons you see so much blue and so much bright colors there showing up. But Krosno, it is heading your way. This is a storm again. It was picked up near 3 states, tracking to the north and east. So Columbus to Krosno are going to be in the path of this, and then Bardwell, Kentucky, if this were to hold together into the western side of Carlisle County. So it looks like this is going to skirt right along the Mississippi River for a little while there. Again, a far eastern Mississippi County. So tornado warning will continue there until 5 p.m. That's going to take us up pretty close to newscast time as well, just letting our news folks know that. We're going to go ahead and go back to the north and show you once more the severe thunderstorm warning we've still got going on in Jackson County. The severe thunderstorm warning there continuing for, looks like now that storm moving through the Murfreesboro area as we speak, going to be approaching 127. And looks like if we continue that, that is going to be approaching Elkville and DeSoto is going to be the next in line for this storm. This is going to be the area right through here that we are talking about with strong straight line winds. If that holds together, then that will continue to work its way into western parts of Franklin County. Christopher's right here, Ziegler's right here. We've got Hearst, we've got Bush, we've got Royalton. Get ready, you guys have got some pretty strong straight line winds heading your way. Again, no indication right now of a tornado with that storm, but some strong straight line winds, a definite possibility with any of the storms that are moving through this afternoon. I'm going to go back over and show you, we do have, it looks like that tornado watch is kind of what I'm going to go back over to. So tornado watch continuing for pretty much the entire viewing area until 10 p.m. We really think the threat for severe weather for much of our region is anywhere from now to about 7 or 8 o'clock this afternoon and this evening. We expect by about 7 o'clock, this line of storms will be closer to the Wabash River, the land between the lakes area, and then pushing east out of our viewing area. But be aware this evening, if you planned on heading out, you have evening plans, that there is a tornado watch in effect for pretty much the entire viewing area at this point until 10 p.m. Go back over to the camera in Carbondale right now, and you'll notice that the rain maybe has lightened up just a bit in Carbondale. And we've also got a live view, I believe. We've got Storm Track 3's Emily Pike out. She's been in Union County here in southern Illinois this afternoon. Emily, we're going to toss it out to you. What are you seeing right now? All righty, waiting for that view from Emily coming in. Hopefully we get that up in here in just a second. All right, so let's go back. Let's go back to the tornado warning. We do have Emily ready now in Union County. All right, let's go ahead and send it out to News 3, Storm Track 3's Emily Pike in Union County at this point. Looks like maybe a live view there, and I believe this is going to be pretty close to maybe Route 146 in Union County, if I'm not mistaken, and some extremely heavy rainfall coming down as this line begins to make its way in from the west. All right, we're going to shift gears here and go back to this tornado warning. Again, this is why we've broken into programming this afternoon. Again, we've got tornado warning for eastern Mississippi County, western parts of Hickman County in western Kentucky, and also we've got western sections of Carlisle County in western Kentucky. This is a tornado warning running until 5 p.m. for these areas, and we are still showing some rotation here. This was prompted near 3 states. Still seeing some signs of some shear, maybe some wind shear getting picked up near the Pinhook area. These storms moving this afternoon, there's just so much wind in the atmosphere this afternoon that once these storms get picked up by that, they're moving at 65 to 70 miles per hour. So folks in Krosno, folks in Winford, folks in Wyatt, Missouri, Henson, Missouri, this is eastern parts of Mississippi County. You are under a tornado warning until 5 p.m., so we want you to be seeking shelter. Notice Wickliffe, not quite in that warning, but get ready. If this were to hold together, it would be heading your way, all right? So East Prairie, not in that tornado warning. This area of shear is to the east of you. I know you guys are seeing some really heavy rainfall right now. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning that is continuing for also many of these locations, but it's that red box that is indicating the tornado warning there. One of the other things we've been watching this afternoon, and I've had a lot of folks asking, what's the hail threat? What's the hail threat? There's just not a big threat this afternoon. You could see some pea-sized hail with some of these storms, but the hail threat overall is pretty low. So we are thankful for that today. But again, this entire line, whether it's got a warning in your area or not, this entire line is likely packing some very strong straight line winds. And again, we are watching those little areas of rotation developing, potential for some brief spin-up tornadoes this afternoon as well. JC mentioned just a few minutes ago, Cape Girardeau, Advance, Poplar Bluff to Malden, Missouri. You guys are in the clear. The severe weather threat has passed you, all right? This is right now sitting right across Perry, Jackson County, right running southward along the Mississippi River, western Union County, Alto Pass. You guys are picking up on a pretty strong storm there, and then extending southward along the Mississippi River and pushing into western Kentucky. But again, severe thunderstorm warnings continue for multiple counties. We've got Jackson County still in that. We've still got Pulaski, Alexander County. We've also got Scott County. We've got Mississippi County in southeast Missouri under a severe thunderstorm warning. And then we've also got Ballard County, Carlisle County, Hickman, Fulton counties also under severe thunderstorm warnings until 5 p.m. We're going to zoom back in on the tornado warning. Again, tornado warning does continue. Eastern Mississippi County and western sections of Carlisle and western sections of Fulton counties until 5 p.m. So about another 20 minutes or so to go on this tornado warning as long as they keep it up. But we are seeing maybe some signs that we have seen the rotation weaken just a bit. One of the things we're also seeing, and JC, you can chime in on this, we are starting to get a few storm reports, some wind damage reports coming in across southeast Missouri. But this is going to be the area, here's the area of shear that we are tracking to the north and east. So again, through eastern Mississippi County right now, if there is a tornado in this storm, if there is any areas of rotation in this storm this afternoon, you're just not going to see it. Some extremely heavy rain. Anything that is going to fall this afternoon, if we happen to see any tornadoes develop, they are likely to be very rain wrapped. JC, are you seeing any reports coming in right now? Any damage as this line is moving through and moving eastward?
We do have some reports that are coming in. They are a little bit delayed, so that does give us an idea of what some of these storms could be producing right now. At this time, it's mostly wind damage. So we did have a report out of Stoddard County, just to the west-southwest of Advance, that a 6-inch tree limb came down on Industrial Drive. And then we had another emergency manager report that there was a tree down on power lines by Highway D. So another report coming out of Stoddard County. So that seems to be the theme thus far, and it's going to continue to be the theme as we shift through the remainder of the evening hours. Strong damaging winds, and if any of those limbs do come down on power lines, we could see some power outages.
Yeah, and you can see each one of these little white dots that's plotted in here as the line moves through. Now, those are going to be wind damage reports that came in. As JC mentioned, we've had several reports of some power lines down, some tree limbs coming down. This is probably not going to be a widespread wind damage event for much of our region. But, again, there is a lot of shear, so some of this is going to get pushed to the ground level. And, of course, we saw the strong winds through much of the afternoon hours. We've still got those strong winds out there. We've still got strong winds aloft in the atmosphere. And that is, of course, helping to fuel some of these stronger storms this afternoon. But severe thunderstorm warning continuing for Jackson County. We'll go back up there. We'll take a live view here from Carbondale in just a second. Murfreesboro, the strongest part of the storm moving through. Looks like maybe the strongest winds are to the east now of Murfreesboro. So we're talking about Elkville and DeSoto right along Highway 51. The strongest winds moving through there. Mulkey Town, Royalton, Hearst, Bush, West Frankfort, say Ziegler's right here. We've got Christopher right here. So these areas are going to see some very strong straight line winds. Even to the south, we don't have a severe thunderstorm warning in southeastern Jackson County or even into the western sections of Williamson County right now. But some strong straight line winds likely to be moving into Heron, Carterville, and possibly into Marion shortly. So if you do have any storm reports, we'd love for you to pass those along if you can on social media, and we'll try to get those passed along as well. It gives us a great indication of actually what's going on inside this storm this afternoon. So strong straight line winds possible across parts of southern Illinois. Again, we do have the tornado warning. We've still got a severe thunderstorm warning right now for Alexander, Pulaski counties and far southern Illinois. But here's the tornado warning we're talking about. Eastern Mississippi County, far western Fulton County, and western sections of Carlisle County. So let's go back to that one. Let's go ahead and put another storm track on that one. Last check-in here just a few minutes ago looked like maybe some of the rotation was weakening just a bit with that storm, but the National Weather Service continuing the tornado warning on it until 5 p.m. So the area that we are going to be watching is going to be right back in here. I'm just going to grab this whole thing right through here and then take this to the north and east. And again, these storms moving very, very rapidly this afternoon. So if we take this to the north and east, 65, 70 miles per hour, if it holds together, and just kind of give you an idea, that would be putting it close to some of the high schools there. You'd be talking about Wickliffe if this were to hold together, the Ballard County Waterfowl Management Area. We'd be talking about Barlow, Kentucky. We'd be talking about Ballard Memorial High School there would be moving into your region. So if this were to hold together, but again, that tornado warning runs in for about another 19 minutes for western Carlisle County, western Mississippi County, and eastern Mississippi County, western parts of Fulton County, and western Kentucky. So to give you an idea, just some communities. If you see your community, it doesn't necessarily mean you're under a tornado warning at this point, even in some of these other communities, but it does mean that we do have a strong storm that has shown some signs of rotation that is going to be moving your way here in just a bit. All right, I know we do have Storm Track 3's Emily Pike now. She is up. We do know she's in Union County. Let's go ahead and take a view out there. She is driving right now in Union County, just to give you an idea of what it's like across the area right now. And extremely heavy rainfall and shot coming in. Dark clouds, heavy rain, strong winds. You can hear it along the car. You can actually see some of the raindrops there kind of getting spread out on the windshield. So some very strong winds coming in with a lot of these storms. And again, continuing to watch this one here as she's making her way through Union County. We come back here, we're going to take another live view outside, and we're going to take a live view into Carbondale right now. And what we're going to see here in Carbondale is also going to be some extremely heavy rainfall. So that's a view there from Storm Track 3's Emily Pike in Union County. Come on back here. We're going to go back to Carbondale and showing the dark skies again. You'll just notice if you joined us here maybe 10 minutes ago what the difference is. It was pouring, flat out pouring in Carbondale just a bit ago. Blinding rain with some of these storms. But once the heaviest part, once that red part you see on radar here goes through, then we actually start to, we see things lighten up and the severe weather threat ends. So once you get through the initial part and the initial round of the strong storms, we do expect that severe weather threat then to wrap up. So areas along the Mississippi River in southern Illinois, the severe weather threat now starting to shift eastward. This is going to be approaching I-57 through Franklin, Jefferson, parts of Williamson County here shortly. Again, we're not seeing any warnings at this point extended with that, but some strong storms definitely possible. And we still have some severe thunderstorm warnings there for Pulaski County in southern Illinois. Does also and then include Ballard, Carlisle. We've got Hickman and Fulton counties also in those severe thunderstorm warnings. And then we've also got that tornado warning still on the board. So that's where we're going to go back in here. JC, do you have any new reports to pass along at this point with any of these storms that are going through?
We do have one more report that came through, but that did come in from some of the storms that rolled through earlier. We were talking about where we saw maybe some tree limbs down on a power line on Highway D. An emergency management agency is now also reporting that possibly a tree down on a house in the same area, minor damage from what they're saying, but just goes to show you that this is going to be some of the strong winds that we're dealing with as these storms roll through.
And one of the other things that here, what you're seeing here, and that's all this pink color, is we're trying to see if there was any indications of debris getting picked up on radar from this. So this is going to be the tornado warning. This was the area of rotation that we saw pass to the north and the east. And at this point, I don't see any indications on radar that we had any debris. So there is no, at least we don't have a confirmed touchdown or anything like that with this storm. But when it did prompt the tornado warning initially, it did have some pretty strong rotation back. That was near the 3 states area. In fact, you can even see that our shear marker there near 3 states got plotted in. And that area of rotation now, if we were to track that from where it really began, is actually going to be more over in this area here. So it's still going to be on the Missouri side of the river at this point, and that is going to be near the Wyatt area in southeast Missouri, and again, that area of rotation would be approaching Alfalfa Center, and if this would to then hold together, it would be moving into far southern Alexander County. So this is going to be the area that we're talking about, possibly with some rotation. Rush's Ridge here, Alfalfa Center, Cairo. We've got Defiance State Park right through this area, and then Wickliffe. So in these areas, Highway 51, the Ohio River Bridge, the Mississippi Bridge right there, these are going to be the areas that if we still have any rotation that is in this storm, and you can see just how blown out it is, picking up on a lot of wind shear, that's going to be the area of rotation that we'll be tracking near Highway 62 right now, and that is going to be tracking to the north and east, moving very, very quickly this afternoon. But some good news, at least maybe with this storm, as we have seen at least some of that rotation begin to weaken, but still an extremely strong storm. And despite maybe seeing some of the rotation weaken, still seeing a storm that possibly would be capable of some strong straight line winds. I go back over to shear rate and showing you some of that. Again, just a better indication. Hopefully this helps you guys out at home. An exclusive product here indicating where the strong winds are. All right, so right now running from Olin southward, right along Highway 57 here, going to be approaching America. Olmsted is right here, and then if it holds together, it would be Karnak, La Center. We've got Ballard County High School. That's right here to the west there of La Center. We've got a waterfowl management area here to the north, a lot of swampy areas there. And then to the south, we can see this line of storms crossing the Mississippi River, Arlington to Bardwell and western Kentucky. And then it looks like maybe the strongest winds now through the Hickman area. Another area of storms that has developed out ahead of this main line as well, moving through the Mayfield area. Right now, no indications of any real strong winds with that, but it does look like we still have another area of strong storms. I know you guys in Mayfield have gone through a lot here over the last few months. Right now, that storm moving through your area is not severe, but it is producing some really heavy rainfall, likely some thunder and some lightning. That line of storms also tracking to the east and northeast up I-69. Will be moving into Callaway and Marshall counties here shortly, but tornado warning, it looks like going to continue from the National Weather Service, and again, moving northeast anywhere from 55. At times, we've seen these storms moving as fast as about 70 miles per hour. So that is the storm that has prompted the tornado warning that we've broken into programming with you here this afternoon and this evening. So we're going to run for about another 12 minutes, looks like, with that warning. And again, folks, if you live in any of these counties that we're listing, if you know which county you live in here, if you live in Ballard County, this is going to be the La Center area. That's the intersection right there. There's the bridges that cross over the Mississippi and the Ohio there, just outside of Cairo to the south of town. This is going to be the area of rotation we're watching is right back in this area. So that is actually going to be crossing into Ballard County shortly. No tornado warning for Ballard County, but this is an area of rotation that will be crossing out of this tornado warning shortly and pushing through there. Far southern Alexander County, and it looks like at least through the western side of Ballard County, still showing some signs of at least some strong straight line winds, and possibly still showing some signs of some of rotation as well. Looks like we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning right now to pass along to you to the east, a little bit farther to the east. Zooming back out just a bit, we've got 2 of them to pass along. Right now it looks like to the northern part of, we're going to start in Mount Vernon. We're going to start in Jefferson County. New severe thunderstorm warning there has just been issued for parts of Jefferson County. So it looks like the severe thunderstorm warning there runs until 5:30. And once again, just an area that we are seeing these little couplets develop. This is going to be near Waltonville, tracking to the north and east. Going to take this out about 65 miles per hour. Waltonville coming into your region right now. Would, if it holds together, be moving into the Mount Vernon area coming up here in about, say, 10 minutes or so. Summersville, Opdyke, Bellrive, Blueford, all of these communities I'm very familiar with here in parts of Jefferson County. But if you hear any of your communities listed, again, get ready. This is a severe thunderstorm warning that runs until 5:30 for Jefferson County. So not a tornado warning, but lots of strong straight line winds with these storms. We've seen as they've moved through southeast Missouri, quite a few reports of some tree limbs down, some trees coming down, some power lines down. So get ready. This is a strong storm moving your way shortly. I'm going to get a live view here from Mount Vernon looking back towards the west. And go ahead and switch that. There we go. Switching back over towards the south and west. So there's going to be the storm that we are tracking here as it approaches Mount Vernon shortly. Lots of very, very heavy rainfall. And again, this camera, if you watch closely, some of the raindrops there on the camera as they hit, they kind of spread out around the camera lens. That, once again, indication that we've got some very strong winds coming in with this, and some of this is just even out ahead of the main line of storms. So looking back towards the south and west, some dark skies, just another factor here that we are just not going to see. If there is any big-time severe weather in any of these storms, you're just not going to see it coming until it's almost right on top of you, whether it's a tornado or just a strong straight-line windstorm coming through. There's just so much heavy rain associated with this, you're just not going to see it there. So some updates on the times there. Once again, Mount Vernon coming in about 5 p.m., Summersville 5:01, so the east side there of Mount Vernon. Opdyke 5:03, Bellrive a little later, and then Blueford, and then eventually would head into Wayne County, and Wayne County, that would run until it would make its way into Wayne County there in Wayne City about 5:15. All right, another severe thunderstorm warning to pass along is to the south. And looks like National Weather Service just kind of issuing some pretty large warnings here, and just showing you just there's a lot of wind shear in the atmosphere, but that does include Livingston County, Western Kentucky, Marshall County, Callaway County, and now parts of looks like south and eastern corner of McCracken County and Graves County in a severe thunderstorm warning. That one